Right, good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. It's pretty dry at the minute, we're on a Sunday. I don't know if you saw on my social media, my plans for today kind of fell through, so I put a post out and said, can anyone recommend what to do today in the south? Loads of people come back and said, have you been to the British Motor Museum? And I was like, I haven't. I live about 25-30 miles away. I've never been here. So I quickly got a ticket. I'm about 10 minutes away from the doors opening. So I have no idea what's inside. So let's go and check it out and see what it's like. Right, so while we're waiting for the doors to open, there's a pretty cool lineup of Jags here. Got the old Mark II Jag. And then, what is that? An XJ12, I think. And then the XJS. And then I really like the colour and spec. I like the blue and black kind of combination on this Project 8. That's pretty nice, I like that. Right guys, I am in. I've just walked in, there was loads and loads of old stuff, really old stuff that, to be honest, there's just not my bag. So if you're interested in that or you want a full tour of the museum, this might not be the video for you. I'm going to walk around, kind of look at the gems that interest me, like RS200 there, RS Escort Cosworth there. I've just spotted them, I'm going to have a quick look at them. So I hope you like what I pick out and give you a bit of an insight into the museum. So let's go and have a look. See, stuff like this is my bag. Look at that, Group B rally car, RS200. In absolutely immaculate condition. And then, as everybody knows, this is the Ford Escort Cosworth WRC that just dominated the World Rally Championship back in the day. Right, even though I'm not focusing on the really old stuff, I do like stuff like this. So this is an old block, they call it a block from an old Bristol car. And back in the day, you had really talented kind of craftsmen that would manipulate and bend and shape metal and sit it over these panels, and that's how they would make the panels for the cars. I know there's people that still do it, but craftsmen and things like that are kind of getting a little bit lost now. So it's cool to see stuff like this. This is definitely my cup of tea. So this is a 2001 Vanquish V12 6 litre. I think the top speed about 190 miles an hour, about 460 brake horsepower. I think these were about 160 grand when they come out. I'm not sure what they're going for now, but such a pretty car. Right, so another car that interests me, I've actually been looking at these. These are going for like, I don't know, 60, 70 grand. So this is Papaya Orange. This is a 2011 McLaren MP4-12C. Yeah, definitely on my radar at the minute with 600, just over 600 brake horsepower with a top speed about 207 miles an hour from its 4 litre V8. Yeah, I do like these. What do you think, guys? Apparently, the cost of running one and the reliability isn't that great. That's what's putting me off at the minute. So what kid, after watching James Bond, didn't want one of these? The Aston Martin DB5, such an iconic, and even today, such a beautiful car. It's lovely. So this is a 1965 DB5. Guess how much this was new? It says here, £4,175. You could buy that new back in the day. I have no idea what they're worth now, but a damn sight more than that. So this is a pretty interesting car. I've never heard of it. It's let's have a look. It's a 2008 Lightning GT all-electric car. So apparently 2008 the company developed this, and it done 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. It had 250 kilowatt electric motors, had a top speed of 185 miles an hour and over 400 brake horsepower. I'm not sure how many they made or if it ever went into production, but it's a good looking car. Right, so I'm in the sports car section, so they class a lot of the old stuff as sports cars, which they were back in the day, so I'm kind of picking out the ones that interest me. There's so much to see here. I didn't know how big this place was, so far it's pretty cool. Right, so I've always loved the shape of a Lotus Europa. So this is from 1971. This is an Europa S2. Colin Chapman designed this. It's only 42 inches high, and even to today's standards, the drag coefficient is really good. It was only available abroad to begin with, and then after about, I think it was about 2-3 years, eventually it was available in the UK. So I think it's a 1.4 litre 4-cylinder He's about 78 brake horsepower, I think. Yeah, I've always loved the look of these things. Looks like, kind of reminds me of a Ferrari, what they call the bread van. Like a poor man's version. Still cool though. Right, so money no object. A massive garage, you'd have one of these in there. Lovely summer's day, you'd take one of these out. This is obviously the Morgan Super Sport. So let's have a look. So this is from 1935, obviously three-wheeler. It had a less than 1 litre 990cc V2 mounted to the front, had about 42 brake horsepower, and new in 1935 this cost £135 and had a top speed of about 80 miles an hour. Pretty cool though, pretty cool to take out in a summer's day. They do a modern version of these. I'd love to have a go in the modern version, but yeah, cool little thing to see. Right, so if you said to me chopping the roof off of an E-Type Jag would make it look better, I would have thought you was crazy, but check this out. They've taken the roof of an E-Type Jag and it looks even cooler and put side X exhausts. So this is a pretty cool car. So in 1974, a guy called Mike Dale, he worked for Leyland Motors, he actually imported this into the USA and he decided to take the E-Type Jag into the Class B Production Car Championship. Imagine driving this though with no roof on. So it's a 5.5 litre V12, 460 brake horsepower and a top speed of over 170 miles an hour. I'm not sure why, but I think this is super cool. So this is a Reliant Regal super van. I don't know if it's just because it's called a super van and it's kind of red with the Royal Mail logo on the back. I just think that's such a cool looking thing. So this is Eddie Irvine's 2000 Jaguar R1. This was when the team kind of got released, and I think it was Jackie Stewart and his son Paul that was managing the team back in the day. I don't think they did particularly well this season, but still a good looking car. Always cool to see a Formula 1 car. This is a pretty cool Jag, very unassuming, but this is the Jaguar XFR V8 prototype. It was fitted with the 5 litre supercharged V8. In 2008 it hit the all-time Jaguar land speed record at Bonneville Salt Flats, and it hit 225 miles an hour, and it beat the previous record set in the early 90s by the Jaguar XJ220 kind of supercar, which hit 217 miles an hour. So very cool car. Right, I'll be honest, I know nothing about Formula 1. I haven't followed it much. I've kind of watched a couple of races, but yeah, I'm no expert. But this is the 2017 Jaguar I-Type 2. And it was driven by Nelson Piquet Jr. I'm not sure how it got on, but they're cool looking things. I mean, it's definitely the way it's going to go, isn't it? But yeah, it's not quite the same, is it? What would you watch, that or that? I know which one I'd choose. Right, so this is a shame. This is a car that would have been great to see. So this is the 1985 MG EXE. It's a concept car and it was launched in the Frankfurt Motor Show in September 1985. What can I tell you about it? So it was introduced as a road car with the potential to be developed as a competition, and all the mechanical elements were from the NG Metro 6R4 rally car, including the 3 litre V6 engine, which same as the rally car, produced 250 brake horsepower, but in competition form could have produced over 400. So I've been walking around, I didn't even notice these. Look at these cool model cars of all the Le Mans cars around here, all the Jaguars. That is so cool. They go all the way around. This is super cool. Anyone that follows me on social media and looks at my story knows that I'm constantly building Lego cars. So they actually built this here at the museum. I think it took about 9 days. I think they had help from Lego, and then a lucky boy, when they put the final brick, it was his birthday and they let him put the final brick on. So, but it's nearly 230,000 bricks took to build this. How cool is this thing? Imagine doing the school run in that. Right, so in 1971, this is the actual Range Rover that did the expedition from Angora in Alaska down to Cape Town in South America. So imagine going to the North American Motor Show in 2004 and this thing being released. It must have looked super futuristic, but to be honest, it hasn't actually changed that much. It obviously become the Range Rover Evoque. The concept was called the Range Stormer, but yeah, I think it cost like $1.5 to $2 million just to develop this thing. The interior was super futuristic though, that changed a lot. It was like curved oak seats that were then clad in leather, all aluminium dash and things, but yeah, it's a cool thing to see where concepts but then come production cars. So in 2003, this MG ZTT set the world record for the fastest ever production estate car. So it hit 225 miles an hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats. Yeah, this thing was not messing around. Look at that. Parachute on the back. This has got to be the leariest MG I've ever seen. Right, so talking about leery MGs, you can't talk about leery MGs without the 6R4. This is the Group B rally car. So the Group B stage obviously got banned back in the 80s, but these things were just monsters. This is a pretty cool thing to see. So this is actually the Mini Cooper S that was the 1967 Monte Carlo Rally winning car. Right, so this is the 2001 TVR Tuscan T400R. So it was actually produced in 2001 and raced in quite a few GT championships, and then it actually raced in Le Mans in 2005. So this is the last ever TVR to ever race at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So talking about iconic race history cars, this is the 1970 March Ford 701 that was actually piloted by Jackie Stewart. I can't believe it. So cool that this is just sitting here and you can get so close to it. Such a piece of yeah, racing history sitting right there. So cool. So obviously this is no introduction, but this is the 1972 Reliant Regal Supervan, made famous by Only Fools and Horses and Del Boy with his Trotters Independent Traders. Right, so not only do they have the three-wheel Reliant Regal from Only Fools and Horses, they have the 1980 Ford Capri Gear, nicknamed the Pratmobile. So this is the actual car from Only Fools and Horses from the filming as well, so pretty cool to have them both here. So another cool car to see from the TV, this is obviously the DeLorean from the Back to the Future film. I'm not sure if this is a movie set car that they actually used for filming, or I think it might just be a recreation, but either way, it's a cool thing to see. So this is the River Simple Rasa Alpha. I think we actually saw this go up the hill at Goodwood Festival of Speed in 2013, 2014, but it's a full hydrogen powered car. So it's very cool. And I think it's got about a 300-mile range, but only a top speed of about 60, 70 miles an hour. And I think hydrogen is the future. Obviously, as you know, I've got a Tesla. I'm way too stupid to tell you how hydrogen powered cars work, but as far as I know, you've got a positive and a negative anode inside, some kind of witchcraft, and you just get water vapor out the exhaust. So I think this is definitely the way forward. Right, so I'm actually slightly embarrassed to admit this, but I really like seeing this. I grew up watching Thunderbirds as a kid, so this is obviously FAB1 with Lady Penelope, been driven around with Parker. This is from the movie, but cool thing to see. Look at the sat nav in the middle of the steering wheel. Love the wooden floor, central seating, Parker sitting up front with Lady Penelope in the back. So the museum was better than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot of old cars and not that great, but there were quite a few supercars in there, and a lot of concept cars and a lot of land speed record cars. And for me, I thought it was quite interesting. I stood there, read all the information about the cars, so it was much better than I thought. So if you're not too far away and you like cars, you've never been here, it's definitely worth a visit. And I didn't know there was actually an air-cooled meat here. I think they're all meeting in the car park, and then in this building here, it's like a conference hall. They've set up and they've done like a swap meet. So if you're restoring an old VW or something, you can come here and try and get your bits. So I'm just going to go and be nosy, have a look in there. So had a look around in that swap meet, loads of stuff I didn't understand, to be honest. Everyone's swapping old VW Beetle parts and things, and nuts and bolts and gauges and trims for wheels. I didn't know, but yeah, everyone's looking for stuff. Nothing really I wanted. I did want a road sign, an old American speed sign, looked pretty cool, but the guy didn't take card. It was cash only, so I couldn't get that. So I'm going to go and have a little hunt around in the car park, because there's loads of cool old Beetles here, so might as well have a look at them while I'm here. Check out this Beetle with this roof tent on it. He's got a Beetle, somewhere to sleep, some beer. Looks like he'll stay warm. Anyone in? No, nobody in. To be fair, whoever owns this looks like they're living their best life. So that's it, guys. I think I'm done. The museum was really good, and I was really lucky. There was a VW kind of showdown. I've just had a look around the car park, some really cool stuff to look at. But I think that's it. I'm done. The wind's definitely picking up. It looks like it's going to chuck it down any minute. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it's given you an idea to come down and visit the British Motors Museum. It's definitely worth a visit. So as always, guys, I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, don't forget, subscribe and like. It really helps the channel out. And we'll see you on the next one.